Welcome to the ACS Sidekick tutorial on filtering data, aggregating geographies and columns, and also calculating percentages. As we start, in our last video, we set up to query data within this tool, and they gave us all zip codes within the state of Texas. So one of the things that we can do in this optional section is to filter it down. So we want to choose a field that we want to set a data filter for. If we look at our previewed data, we can see that the ZICTA field is giving us our zip code numbers. So in data filters, we will choose ZICTA. We'll leave it as is for this example, and then we can type in the ZICTA number or zip code number, 78210, and we click add. We can see that it builds the query there. And then if we preview the results and scroll down, we can see now that that preview window only displays data for 78210. We can also do this for multiple fields, multiple values within the field. So we'll choose ZICTA again. In this case, we'll do inset. We also have inlist here, which will be covered in the next tutorial around building queries and lists and saving them. So we'll do inset, and then we type in one value per line. So we'll type in for ZICTA 78210, and then we'll also create a new line and type in 78204. We click add, it builds our query, and then we can come down and preview the results of that query. Now we can see that in our preview window, we have 78204 and 78210 both displayed, as well as all the values for our table that we are querying. The tool also allows you to aggregate geographies and aggregate fields. We'll start with aggregate geographies. First, we need to name our new geography. So we want to create a new geography that's going to add up those two zip codes. So we'll call it both zips. We choose which fields we want to aggregate. So we'll choose ZICTA, and then again, we'll enter one value per line. We do also have the ability to use lists. Again, that will be covered in the queries and list savings tutorial. So we type in one per line our two zip codes, 78210, 78204, and click add. And then it builds in the query below along with the name of our both zips. We'll preview that data. As we scroll down, we can see that now we have a third row displayed called both zips, and it's aggregating our two zip codes that we entered in. And it's also recalculating the margin of error as it's adding up for those two zips as well. And it's doing that across all of our indicators within the table. Next, we want to do is aggregate fields. So we'll name this as under 150. So that's going to be the number of population under 150% of poverty for this table. We click select fields and we want to add up the fields. We want to select the fields that we want to add up. So we'll select everything that is below 150, which are these four fields. We check those, we click add, and then it displays the name of our new field and the columns that we want to add up for that new field. We'll click preview results for this. As we scroll down, you won't see it right away. We see the very left part of the table. If we scroll to the right, it's added in a new field at the end. And here we have our under 150 for our zip code, and also margin of error added up for that as well. It's also doing it for any aggregate geography records that we've created within the table. Now last, we can also put in, using the percentage calculator, a denominator. So when we pull this down, we can choose what we want all of our fields divided by to calculate a percentage. Here we're going to do the total population for this table. We click preview data. As we scroll down, now we can see that a percent field has been added for every field. So as we scroll to the right, when we look at our under 0.5, we can see that we now have a percentage of 9. So it's 9% of the population is under 0.5% of poverty. It's also doing that for the margin of error percentage. As we scroll all the way to the right, it also does this for our aggregated geographies and our aggregated fields. So our under 150, now we have a percentage that is calculated for that, as well as a margin of error percentage. And at the end, when we're finished, we can always export out to a CSV to use in a spreadsheet format. We also have the ability when we build our queries to be able to save them into a saved location. To see more about that, please see the tutorial on saving queries and lists for ACS Sidekick. Thank you.